it. Jesus. So today we're diving into calories and macros. The real stuff you actually need to know if you're trying to hit any kind of fitness goal. We talk about them, we track them, stress over them, and if you're like me, you've probably even dreamt about them at some point. So what are they? Why do they matter? And why does every influencer with a shaker bottle think they're an expert? Well, today I'm gonna hope we answer all that, clear up some myths along the way, and maybe add a bit of truth to the lies we tell ourselves when we reach for the second scoop of peanut butter or shamelessly eat Nutella like any mature adult with a spoon in the cupboard. So let's get straight into it. So calories, what are they? We all know and love them. A calorie is literally a unit of energy. That's all it is. Yes, it is the same thing that lights up your stove and powers your coffee machine. Technically, 1 kilocalorie, the term we use for calories, is the amount of energy required to raise 1 kilogram of water by 1 degrees. Well, I mean, that's cool, but why does that matter? Well, it doesn't. Until you realize that every single moment, from blinking to lifting to the literal thought processes you're having now while listening to my voice, or maybe the weird dance you do when you step on Lego, either or. It takes calories to perform those actions. So first we'll clear up the whole clean versus dirty calories nonsense. Your body doesn't judge. No judgment zone in your body. There is no little metabolism referee in there blowing a whistle every time you get a donut or, binge or spoil yourself on something. Whether it's chicken breast or that questionable gas station sushi you're eating, your body literally only sees energy. Sure, nutrient quality absolutely matters, but ultimately energy is energy. So eating dirty calories doesn't mean you're going to wake up in a mountain of cellulite, maybe just a mountain of regret, which we've all been there, right? Yeah. Anyway, so calories alone aren't the full picture. This is where macros now come in. The big three, we've got protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Each one of them is like a team member with its own job. And you want to get the balance close to right. Your body will take care of the rest. But, if you want to be successful at your goals, whether it's bodybuilding, weight loss, let's be real. Protein, first of all, is doing way more work than carbs, lounging around, waiting for your next Netflix marathon. But again, they're all needed. So let's start with protein. With what we'll call the king of macros, essential for muscle growth, repair, immune function, and it'll keep you full for those times when you're trying not to inhale an entire pizza. But here's a major myth to debunk. First and foremost, the more protein you eat, the more muscle you'll gain. Of course, because we're all here to get jacked, right? So, but no. After a certain point, your body starts thinking, thanks for the extra protein, probably just going to turn into expensive pee. And it's not kind of the stuff you can resell, kind of like those weird girls on the internet that they used to, I don't know, they still do that now? Where they sell their bath water and that creepy guy in the basement's probably the one buying it. But yeah, it just goes to expensive pee. So ideally, we want to aim for around 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight if you're looking to grow or maintain muscle during a deficit. But, cramming down like 300 grams plus, it's just going to kind of make your wallet lighter. So there's no need for excess. And if you're not looking at, gaining muscle or losing weight or any of that stuff in the gym, honestly, why are you in this channel? But if you're just like an everyday person, like I just want to eat food, what's the optimal thing for me? 0.8 grams, more than enough. Well, and let's talk about kidneys as well. So I'm sure you've all been, got a blood test one point, and then your GP is just like, we might have to do a few more tests because your blood work here is showing that, your kidneys have this weird reaction. Yeah, you're having those protein shakes again, guys. You'd think the kidneys are made out of wet cardboard the way they carry on about high protein diets, unless you've got pre-existing kidney issues. The research shows you're totally fine. Which, if you have a kidney issue, i.e. something like dialysis, I'm so sorry for you. But the rest of you, rest easy. Your kidneys aren't filing for retirement just yet, or just because you've added an extra scoop of protein. If anything, you're probably just going to crop dust next time you go to the shops. So, next up we got fats. Poor old fats. They kind of take a beating over the years, don't they? And then come back with some weird revival and some bizarre diet. However, though, fats are the most calorie-dense macro at 9 calories per gram. They are crucial, though, for things like hormone production, so testosterone and estrogen, keeping your cell membranes intact, which is important. You might not care, but your cells care. And kind of actually helping your body absorb those fancy vitamins, so like A, B, D, K, stuff like that. But yeah, fun fact, if you don't get enough of these fats as well, your skin kind of turns to like sandpaper. Also, your meat taints. And also, if you're a guy, potential erectile dysfunction. So make sure you're getting your fats in. And here's where that's at. Not all fats are created equal. Prioritize unsaturated fats. So look for foods like olive oil, fatty fish, nuts. Probably want to keep trans fats out, unless you want to join like Hall of Fame heart disease. And again, saturated fats are okay. Same with trans fats. Guys, everything in moderation. However, ideal diet, saturated and trans fats are like the minutia of everything that you're consuming in a day. And yeah, another classic sort of myth. Yeah. Why the English language is so hard? Eating fat makes you fat. It's a huge myth. Maybe because it's got the same name, but who knows? Unless you're downing fat in caloric excess, which means we're eating more, it's just a fuel source end of the day. It is definitely a more calorie-dense fuel source, and it's easier to overconsume, which can lead to actually gaining fat. End of the day, still energy, monitor it, keep it in moderation, track your diet where it's going into, and you're fine. And last on this list is carbs. Poor old carbs as well. They get a bad rap too. They're kind of like, I don't know if this makes sense, maybe the Taylor Swift of macros. Polarizing, misunderstood, and blamed for a lot that isn't just their fault. Poor Taylor Swift. But anyway, guys, carbs break down into glucose, which is literally what your brain and muscles run on. So if you've got that crazy mentor or bizarre individual that's saying, don't eat carbs, man, you're going to get the brain frog. Frog? Well, hopefully not brain frog. Brain fog, maybe. It's just simply not true. Your brain requires carbohydrates to break down into glucose so you can literally function at that cellular level. So it is the preferred fuel source, first, foremost, and always. Your body uses carbs as its primary energy source, and then fats, and then protein, especially when it comes to intense activity. When we look at complex carbs, like whole grains, veggies, that's ideally what we want to have. It helps keep the blood sugar steady, while simple carbs, something like sugars and refined carbs, kind of like spike insulin, which is fine, but they come with their own sort of nuances with them. To which again, like fun fact, glucose is again the brain's preferred energy source. So if someone's telling you, oh, you're sluggish and tired, try the low carb diet, it's for you. The second someone tells you that, your neurons are probably begging for mercy and hoping to God that you don't pull the switch on that kind of a diet. Some people believe carbs give you this whole like foggy and slow approach to life. But like, again, glucose functions. So some people believe that carbs make you foggy or slow, but reality check, again, glucose fuels cognitive function. Cutting carbs might make you feel temporarily sharper, but most people just end up staring blankly at the fridge, thinking, maybe I should eat that block of cheese as a snack, maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. Like a croissant would be nice, but I'm not allowed to eat carbs. So, look, again, the key with carbs, use them strategically, especially around your training and work demands. Be selective about what you're eating, but also understand that food is just an integral part of life and fun. So be an adult and just make the mature decision on what you want to have that day. Kind of easy when you think of it like that. But yeah, so let's talk about the fun part, which is adjusting macros based on your goals. If you're bulking, yes, you absolutely need more carbs and protein to fuel muscle growth and development. Because if you're just eating at maintenance or less, unless you're like very, very new to the gym and you kind of get like those virgin gains, your body's just kind of like, you're just gonna be put through the ringer, and then your muscle's like, hey, yo, we need capacity to grow here. There's a lot of forces that are being applied. Body's gonna look around. There's gonna be like literally no materials to build the stuff with. So nothing's gonna happen. So if you're looking to grow, you need to eat. And again, if you're looking at fat loss, keeping protein high to maintain muscle while we're in a deficit and adjusting carbs and fats down tends to help. But again, the catch with all these diets, the best plan is one you can actually stick with. If your perfect macro balance has you dreaming about carbs and sabotaging yourself every Friday night, it's probably not the one for you. So maybe don't do that. But yeah, and look, tracking is a good thing. A lot of people will associate tracking with eating disorders, which I get it, I see it. But how I kind of view these things is going on a diet is shifting away from a pattern of your life that's generally long-standing. So you kind of need to be a little bit unbalanced and step out of that comfort zone to which you had a balanced lifestyle and learn certain tactics and skills to sort of put you back on the rails for the trajectory of healthy living. So while there's a big argument to say that tracking is not for everyone, and it's not, it is 100% a really good tool to sort of go through the effort because it'll teach you what the value of food, right? Calories determine weight changes, but macros shape that weight gain or loss. Are you gaining muscle? Are you just, more insulation for the winter? Tracking the macros will help you understand portion sizes. It helps you understand how different foods impact your energy, and it kind of helps you make the right adjustments as you progress. Think of it like tracking, kind of like learning the rules of a game. Once you know them, you can start to bend them without losing control too much, which is how I sort of approach my training. We'll go track, kind of take control of the situation, learn the value of foods, and then start to come off tracking once you get a bit more control of that lifestyle. So, in summary, calories fuel your body, easy. And macros dictate how those calories work for you. This is not a debate on good and bad food. It's purely about making informed choices that support your goals and keep you sane. And always, consistency beats extremes every single freaking time. So if you know someone who just enjoys a donut, or you're someone who enjoys a donut, just find a way to work it in. If you like to eat like that, then macro balance is going to be your best friend. And remember, bottom line, food is fuel, but it's also supposed to be fun. So be an adult, make the adult decision that works best for you and your lifestyle, and kind of come to grasp that you're just probably going to have to make some sacrifices along the way to reach your goals. But that's all from me. Guys, if you need anything, feel free to drop us a DM. Chest is here, in the way, as always. This is BBA. We out.